Hello everybody, also welcome to the channel of Eclectic Chessa. If this is not your first time of being here, then I thank you so much for coming back. Truly, you guys know that I always appreciate it when you guys come back for me. Like, I have so much love for y'all, it's insane. Like, if you guys only knew just how much I love y'all. However, if this is your first time of being here, then I so heartily welcome you as well. I actually urge you to stick around because there's always a lot of fun over here. Either way, very interesting, so do stick around. Welcome to the family. Sit down and relax and just listen to me talk, and I promise you it'll be worth the listen. My name is Vanessa Danso-Chewa, and today I have taken upon myself to talk to you guys a little bit about the history of the Akan day names. So if you like this type of videos, just comment in the comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. I really like to know your opinions on this one. You can like this video, you can share it, you can give this a thumbs up and show some love, and until then you can just enjoy the story, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye. Today, we are going to be talking about something really interesting. For all my Ghanaian viewers out there, we all know that each and every single one of us carries a certain day name. Depending on the day you were born, of course, there is such a beautiful Asian symbolism embedded in our day names. So much so that finding the meaning of it touched me to my very core, and I just had to share this with all of you. So I would like to enrich your mind a bit more when it comes to the meaning of your Akan day name. Today, I'll be covering my Wednesday-born babies, my Wednesday-born Ohinis, and my Wednesday-born Ohimas. The week will be incomplete without your undeniable greatness, so this one is for you. To the Ekuas and to the Kwakus. Chesamuye je matiasye munye easy cry. Anyways, not to worry, this is going to be a 7-episode series, so each and every single one of you will get their special information on their day of birth from Kwesiada all the way to Memenda. I got you. Now I must tell you though, do buckle up because this will be quite extensive, so get comfortable because you're humbly invited to watch this to the very end. And finally, the day names given to us as individuals and their personality characteristics are more like a generalization, so it is perfectly possible that you may not necessarily fit into your characteristic box, which in that case only makes you perfectly imperfect in your own God-given unique way, which is nothing less than beautiful. Now let's get cracking. Now in order for you to understand this, I should tell you that we are going to go way back in time for this one. And when I say way back in time, I mean way back in time, all the way down to ancient Egypt era, or also known as ancient Kemet era. Now some of you may know this, but a great part of you may not, so here it goes. Christianity has not been around that long. This was only introduced to us around the 1600s by the missionaries. Now, do not misunderstand me. When I say it was introduced to us by the white people, that does not mean that it was created by the white people. So let's not get that twisted. Okay, so back to the story. Now, before Christianity became what it is now, in our Akan culture, our forefathers, our ancestors, they believed in deities, several gods, which has its roots all the way from ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt era. And this is a documented fact. They believed in spirits, or also called Abosom in the Akan language. They governed the majestic solar, the astonishing lunar, and the infinite planetary bodies that govern the 7-day Akan week. These spirits operate through the many suns, moons, stars, planetary bodies, oceans, rivers, mountains, wind, fire, and a black substance or space comprising Abodie or creation. They are the divine organs regulating order within the great divine body of Nyame wa Nyame, just as your organs, your lungs, your heart, your kidneys regulate order within the greater body of you. It is from these Ekadin Bosom that Akan people derive our Ekadin or soul names, which are also called Dadin or day names. Now these Abosom are the deities. They are the goddesses and gods. They are the divine spirit forces in creation, and all of them together are referred to as Nyame wa Nyame and Ma, the children of Nyame wa and Nyame. Now Nyame wa and Nyame were called Amenet and Amen in ancient Kanet and Kemet, which is today's ancient Nubia and Egypt, and they function together as one divine unit, the Supreme Being. Now why is it so important that I keep referring to the past, you may ask? Because we are more connected than you may realize. Well, it is believed that the Akans originated in ancient Kanet, or also called ancient Nubia, at the beginning of human existence upon earth. This is the region of contemporary Sudan and South Sudan and the eastern region of Africa. We finally migrated around the world. Some Akans migrated north of Nubia and settled in ancient Kemet, which is also called ancient Egypt, while others remained in Nubia. Over several millennia, Akans migrated to West Africa, establishing several Asian civilizations such as the Asian Ghana Empire, the Kanam or Pre-Bono Empire, the original authentic Black Berber Empire, and the Kong Empire, before ultimately migrating to and settling in the areas of contemporary Ghana and Ivory Coast. Okay, so that was a little bit of geography there. Now let's get back to the story. Now, every Ekadi in Bosom has a specific function, and since this is the Wednesday born edition, I will be discussing Awuku and Ekuya. Now, Awuku and Ekuya are the god and goddess responsible for the planet Mercury, which is called Awuku, or also referred to as Ekuya in the Akan language, and they are also responsible for Awukuda or Ekuyada, which is Wednesday, which is where Ekuya and Kwaku comes from. Ekuya is referred to as a divine protector. She's the governess of ritual and nurse mother. Awuku is the Abosom who governs the divine renal system, the fluid balancing and excretory structure of Abodie, the divine body of Nyame wa Nyame, the supreme being, and thus the renal system within the African body. Ekuya also governs the excretory function of lactation, nursing, and the rain waters of Mother Earth. Awuku nourishes the living and protects the spirits who transition to Asamando, the ancestral realm. According to science, if a star is 100 light years away from the Earth, the light coming from the star, which carries its information, takes roughly 100 years to reach Earth. So we could say, when we look at the stars, we are actually looking into the past. Now there's a striking similarity when it comes to spirituality and religion of over 2,000 years ago and Christianity today. For that, we will dive a little bit into Akan linguistics. According to Asian legend, Wednesday borns are known to be advocates and governors of money. Now most of us also know that God himself has a day name, and this is Kwame. Now Kwame is actually derived from Koyame, with the following syllables Ko, Ya, Me. Now Ko refers to life. The second syllable Ya stands for being with wisdom, like Nyansa, which means wisdom. And lastly Me, which comes from me, like after you're done eating you could say my me, I'm full, it stands for satisfaction. Over time, the two syllables Ko and Ya merge into one word Kwa, and this stands for Father of Life, Wisdom, Life Being, the Creator. So Kwa is another basic name of God. This is the reason why all the male day names originally started with the prefix Kwa, but somehow with time some got modified for convenience. Kwa is a prefix that will continuously return, so it is highly relevant that you remember it, as it stands for the Creator, our Heavenly Father. Now let's take a quick look at Genesis chapter 1 verse 14 to 19. And God said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times, and days, and years. And let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth." And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good, and there was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. Now I know this may be slightly contradictory as to say, how come there was light on day 1 when the sun was only created on day 4? Well, we have to take into account that God is omnipotent and that he himself is light, as we read here in 1 John chapter 1 verse 5. This is the message we have heard from him and declare to you. God is light, in him there is no darkness at all. So the fourth day, Ukuada, originally comes from Kwayukuda or Kwawikuda. The U and Re stands for skies and heavens, just like we saw on Monday, and Ku means society, host, or group. For example, in the expression Emakuo, which means women's fellowship, the syllable Ku stands for group or society. So if we analyze Kwayukuda, then we get Kwa, which means the creator, You and We, which means heavens, and Ku, which means host, Da, which means day. So it is on this day that God created the heavenly hosts we know today as our moon, sun, and stars. And this is very similar to the ancient Egypt Kemet symbolism. They already figured out and knew that creation of suns and stars and its light emission is very important for the balancing of light within the dark vault of space. So you see, our ancestors were not far from the truth at all. The importance of removal or emission of light by the stars to balance the darkness in space, such as your kidneys do to balance fluid within our bodies, being the fourth in creation, was true 2,000 years ago and remained true after the Bible confirmed it so many years later. Now, isn't that fascinating? Now, a little bit of characteristics. Ekriyas are cool and collected people. So much so that sometimes they may even appear to be emotionless, but behind a facade lies an emotional heart. They know what they want and what they need, and hence do not waste their time on people that are simply not worthy of it. They have amazing self-control and do not show off their vulnerability easily. Ekriyas are rational, logic, hardworking, and perhaps even perfectionists at times. Kwakus love simplicity. They are romantic and traditional at the same time. They also tend to be very cautious and hypersensitive. Sometimes it may appear as though they may lack confidence, which can easily translate into insecurity. Apparently, emotionally, they mature a bit slower than the rest. However, once they get to that point, they can be quite the awesome fathers and husbands. They take a bit more work, according to literature, so don't shoot the messenger, but without a doubt, they are very much worth the hassle. So there you have it. Wednesday borns, you guys are truly awesome, so don't you dare forget just how important you guys are. Well, it seems as though we have reached the end of this video. I hope you liked it, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned quite a bit because it was kind of the point. If you'd like to have more of an insight on the other Akande names, then just stick around on this channel because they will be coming. Until then, you can just take care of yourselves, be kind to one another, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.